Hi, good evening, and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes just to allow all the participants to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started with the discussion. Obviously, we'll be using this time, so it is not like we will just be waiting. We'll be using this time productively, and we'll use this time to understand firstly about how we'll be conducting this webinar. So down below, you'll see there's a Q&A option. So if you're joining through a laptop or a desktop, you'll have these options. If you're joining through your mobile device, in that case, in the menu, you'll see these options. So there's a Q&A option. So if there is any question, if there's anything which is not clear to you, so in that case, you can use the Q&A option to ask your question, right? So I'm again repeating it for everyone's reference that if you want to ask me anything, how will you do that? So you'll be using Q&A for that. All right. Now we also have a chat option. So at joining that, we'll see there's a chat option. So we'll be using chat for our interactions. So we'll be trying to have an interactive session. So it will not be just like I will be just talking to you and there will be absolutely no contribution from your side, nothing like that. Obviously, you have taken out time from your busy schedule and you're joining us here today. So I'm absolutely certain and confident that you want to learn something or you want to understand something in today's session. But because it is at the end of the day a technical session, a lot of time it becomes quite a boring and dry discussion. So I'll try to keep it as interactive as possible, and I'll keep seeking your inputs and whether you have understood or not, or what you have understood. So we'll keep having these discussions in between, and that's where how will we have these discussions? So we'll be using the chat option. So we'll keep interacting using the chat option. The chat can also be used to interact with other participants who are joining us here today, right? So if you want to share about your business, what product or services you are offering, and if someone wants to connect with you, if you have a website, you can also include that link or your contact details where you're situated, right? So God knows, you may find a buyer or supplier in today's session only, right? So it is a wonderful networking opportunity which is also available to you. So I would recommend that you should all also consider utilizing this opportunity. All right. So that was how we will be conducting and using the session. I can see there's one member who have raised their hand. So Mr. Yogesh, this is a webinar format. So if you have a question, you can add that in the Q&A and I'll try to answer that. So towards the end of the session, we'll have a question answer round. So that's where I will provide a response to all your questions and queries, right? Now, before I start sharing my screen and before we get into the before I start sharing my screen and before we get into the discussion, so that is where there's a specific problem that some of the participants have faced in past. So I'll try to share inputs or suggestions on how you can address that issue. What is that problem firstly? So when I start sharing my screen, sometime it has happened with certain members, especially the ones who were joining through mobile devices. So if you are someone joining through your mobile devices, through your smartphone, this may happen with you. So just in case if it happens with you, what you should do, that's what I'm sharing with you. So what happens when I start sharing my screen, sometime people are not able to see the screen. So it typically goes full screen, but sometime it does not. In that case, you'll not be able to see it properly, and you'll not be able to understand anything. You'll be seeing it so tiny, you'll not be able to understand anything. So that's where it is important that you are seeing the entire thing. So how do you fix that problem? Or sometime it will be appearing like a blank screen. I'm doing my screen share, but you're not seeing it. It is a blank screen that you're seeing. How to fix that? So one option is and that's a very quick fix, that whenever you're holding your device and when I start sharing my screen, just turn it around. So if you're holding it like this, just turn it around. That can fix the issue. Other is if it does not fix the issue, right? So you have turned it around, but still it is appearing too small or we are not able to see the screen. So in that case, what you should do is you should step out of the meeting, right? So you should leave the meeting and then check whether your Zoom application is updated or not. So the fundamental reason why it happens is that your Zoom application is not updated. So update the application and then join the meeting back, and the issue will be fixed, right? So I just thought of sharing this in case any one of you also face this problem. All right, so this is where, once again, let me welcome all of you. So good evening and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. But I'm not going to share what is the topic for today's webinar. That's where I need your inputs, your help. So if any of the participants can chat to me, what is the topic for today's webinar? What are we going to learn? What are we going to understand in today's session? So uh, please help me understand what do you think. So I can see there's a response from Mona, Digital Catalog, wonderful. Any other participant setting up online store, Digital Catalog? Yes, Kishore Brahmadatt ji, all of you have shared the correct response. We are going to learn how to create digital catalog for your export business. Wonderful. So thank you everyone for sharing the inputs and what we are going to learn in today's session. So without spending any more time, let's begin. And that's where I'm going to start sharing my screen. I have the chat open alongside, so I'll keep chatting with you. And if you find me looking towards the side, that's where I'm looking at the chat. So that's why I may be looking at the side. All right, so this is where let's begin. And in next few moments, you'll start seeing my screen. And then we will, sorry, I have to restart sharing. I accidentally selected the wrong option. So again, I don't know what is happening. Okay. There's some new feature which is enabled on uh, Zoom, and that is causing the confusion. So just give me a few more seconds because Zoom has changed the layout. So that's where I have to also figure out where the settings are. So, right. So let me start sharing my screen, and I'm going to hide the floating window. Also, let me also close this one so that the entire screen is visible to you. All right, so this is where again I need your help. If few of the participants or anyone from the participant can confirm to me if you can see my screen, if the screen is appearing to you. I have started sharing my screen. Right. So thank you, Anand, for confirming that the screen is visible. Thank you, everyone else who also shared. So I'll not be able to thank all of you individually, but thank you, everyone, for confirming that you can see my screen. Now, the topic for today's discussion is how to create a digital catalog for your export business. So we will firstly try to understand about this term called digital catalog, right? So what is digital catalog? And then we'll look at examples also. I'm not a big fan of presentations because they are typically very boring. So that's where we'll just use this presentation to understand few fundamental things, and mostly it will be a live walkthrough that I'll be taking you along. All right. So the first point that we are going to understand in today's session is what is a digital catalog. So that's where again I need your inputs. What do you think? What is a digital catalog? So again, you can share your inputs using the chat. You can let me know what do you think. There must be something in your mind. There must be something coming in your mind when you read this term or hear this term, digital catalog. So I want to understand what is your interpretation, what is your imagination of this concept called digital catalog. So I can see there are a few inputs coming. Hitendraji, client gets information on one click. Yes, you're right you're right in your understanding a catalog showing the product on the internet. That is from Mr. Kishore Naik. You're spot on. Online brochure containing the product details. Uh, yes, you're also right. So this is where let's not spend too much time there. So let me help you understand what is a digital catalog. So firstly, I'll share with you the textbook definition. So the textbook definition of digital catalog is a website or a computer file used to provide examples of a person's work or product offered by a business in digital format, which can be easily accessed digitally by a prospective customer. So that is a textbook definition or textbook explanation of the concept. But let's understand it more practically. So more practically, in con man's language, a digital catalog is simply a website. I'll repeat that once again. Digital catalog is simply a website, but with few characteristics or few features. So if a website has these features, then we can characterize it or call it a digital catalog. What are these features? So it can showcase information about product or services being offered by a business, right? So if a website is showcasing information about product or services from a particular business, it can be characterized or it can be called a digital catalog, right? So that is the first characteristic or feature. The second one is it can accept orders or generate leads, right? So if you're dealing with retail customers, that's where it allows you to accept orders. And if you're dealing in bulk or if you're into exports, that's where it allows you to receive inquiries. And the third characteristics or feature is it can showcase information for the business. So that's where I've written assumed, because that is something we are assuming itna to hoga hi. So that is something which should be there. And then the two other points, right? So that is what a digital catalog is. So I'm again repeating it. Digital catalog is simply a website which has the capability to showcase information about a particular business, their product or service offering. It can enable a business to receive orders or inquiries digitally. And the third is it can also showcase information about that particular business on the internet, right? So that is a digital catalog. Now, related to that, a subsequent question which comes in the mind is what type of digital catalogs can be there, right? So it basically depends on your requirement. But if I have to broadly categorize them or if I have to broadly segregate them, there are broadly four types of digital catalogs which you can create. The first one is where you're generating leads. So your prospective customer, if there is an importer and they want to connect with you, they want to express to you that, hey, we're interested to buy these products from you. In that case, they can send you an inquiry, right? So this is where you're generating leads or inquiries from prospective customers. So that is one type of digital catalog. The second is where you're generating orders. So if you're dealing with retail customers, in that case, you can receive orders. So there's like you can do online shopping, international online shopping in your context, and then you have leads and orders, so you can do both of the things on the same website. And then you have distributor and retail ordering. Now because this audience is focused around export, or the majority is around export, and the topic is also about creating the little catalog for export. So that's where you may be wondering that generating distributor and retail, this is looking like a domestic business utilization. So why am I discussing it here? It also has a utilization in the export business. And I'll also explain that to you. Now, this is where we have understood or we have consumed a lot of textbook or very plain, simple, and boring presentation information. Right. So now let's understand a few examples. So that's where I believe you'll be able to comprehend them or understand them in a better way. Right. So let me switch my screen. So just give me a couple of seconds to do that. I've too many tabs. So a lot of time I get confused where the relevant information is. And we will we'll start with an export example. I have so many examples here, so let me choose this one. So there's a hospital supplies. All the examples that I'm going to share with you, they're all exporters, right? So this is the first example that we are going to start. And this where firstly, let's go back to the definition that we have learned about digital catalog. So this is a digital catalog of a particular business that we are looking at on the screen. What was the first feature or characteristic that we have understood? So it should be showcasing information about the product or service offering from a particular business, right? So this is where if we scroll down, we don't even have to go to category pages or navigation. This is where we can see the various products, right? So it is showcasing information about that particular business's product or service offering, right? So first tick mark or first check mark is there. The second is it allows that particular business in generating leads or orders, right? So if you want to generate leads, it can allow you to do that. Or if you want to generate orders, you can also do that. So, right? So both the things are possible. So this is a export oriented digital catalog or a B2B digital catalog. So this is where you can see there's a send inquiry option. So I'll just quickly open the product very quickly. And this is where you can see a send inquiry. So this is where what is happening, a prospective buyer who's interested to buy this product, they can send them an inquiry that, hey, we are interested to buy this product, right? So this is where no online selling is happening. This is where they have a send inquiry. A prospective buyer is sending them a message that, hey, we are interested to buy this product or buy these products, right? So this is first type of digital catalog, right? So it is also specifying that second criteria that it allows a business to generate leads or orders. And the third one is it also showcases information about that particular business. So this is where we have the information about that business. So this can be categorized or called a digital catalog. Now, the first example that we have seen is of a business that is generating what? Leads or inquiries, right? This is one example that we have seen. I've deliberately kept this example because this is where most of the exporters want to have this kind of an experience. So that's why, right? So this is one type of digital catalog, as I mentioned, we can create. The second type of digital catalog that you can create is where online shopping can happen. So this is another example that I'm showing you here. So this is where uh, online shopping can happen. So this is where retail customer, now those retail customers can be domestic or international. And as we are talking about export, so that's where international customers can place an order, right? So they can come and they can place an order. So I'm just opening one of the product. So this is where international customers can come and they can place an order. So they can do add to cart and buy now. Now, if we compare the two sides, so I'll just open one of the products back again. So this is where the interaction is send inquiry. Whereas if we are looking here, add to cart or buy now, right? So this is where the business is receiving orders. This is also possible. So this is the second type of digital catalog that you can create. Now, if you want to do both the things at the same time, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. I'll show you two examples. So one is this example. So on this example, I'll just quickly open one of their product pages. Now here you can see the interaction is slightly different. So if I'm a retail customer, I'm wanting to buy this product for my personal use. In that case, I can do an add to cart and I can place an order. But if I happen to be a B2B buyer and I'm wanting to buy the products for my shop or my business, I can also do that. And in that case, I'll be sending them an inquiry that, hey, we are interested to buy these products, or we want to do a contract manufacturing, or if we want to import your products. So all that is also possible, right? Now I'll show you another example, and this is where the business is doing both the things on the same website and on different navigations also. Let me try to understand, help you understand. So this is where we are looking at one of the types of products that they have, and this is where you can see it is add to carts, right? So as a retail customer, whether it is domestic or international, they can come and they can place an order. Whereas here you can see it is send inquiry and add to cart. So if you're someone who wants to buy these products in bulk, you will send them an inquiry. If you're a retail customer, you'll do an add to cart, right? So both are possible. So these were the third type of digital catalogs which you can create. Now there's a fourth type of digital catalog which you can also create, and this is an example for that. Now this where if you're looking at this website and if I shared this link with you, you'll go through this website and that's where you'll realize or you'll say that it looks like a typical online shopping website. Whereas a customer, we can go review their product and place an order. I'll just quickly open one of their product and you'll see that there's no inquiry button also, right? So it is all add to cart and buy now, right? So there's not even an inquiry button. So how does B2B is happening here? So this where the utilization is slightly differently. This where there are regular bulk buyers who are routinely buying products from them. So for example, they are a leading manufacturers of premixes which are used in coffee, tea, or tomato soup vending machines, which we have at cafeterias or hospitals. Now, people routinely or regularly buy those premixes from this particular manufacturer. Now, the conventional ordering process wherein they have to call up someone or the salesperson has to visit their establishment and then take their order is very inefficient. So you can use digital and technology to make that process efficient. So that's where these bulk buyers can firstly get themselves onboarded so they can send a request that, hey, we want to buy these products from you in bulk. And then you can have a discussion with them and then you can onboard them, right? So once you have agreed on the commercial terms, once these bulk buyers are onboarded, so just imagine I happen to be someone who's running certain cafeterias and I want to buy these premixes for the vending machines that I have in cafeterias. So in that case, I can get myself onboarded, and once I'm onboarded, I can input once the entire negotiation, everything has happened. After that, I'm onboarded, so I can simply come here. So whenever I have to place an order, I don't have to like call up someone or wait for the salesperson to visit or send someone an email, nothing like that. So I can very conveniently come here, input my number, and then log in, and again I can place an order. Now, a thought or a counter argument with a lot of time people comes into my mind, and obviously it will come in your mind as well, that in bulk buying there are different rates which are given, right? So the bulk buying rates are very different from the retail buying rates. So in that case, will the bulk buyer get those special rates? Yes, certainly they'll get the special rates. They'll also get credit in case the brand is offering them credit, and if there's a minimum order quantity understanding between the supplier and the brand, that whenever Adnan is buying, he'll be buying minimum 15 units. So those kind of minimum inquiry requirements can also be taken care of. Now, this is this particular solution or the fourth variety of digital catalog that you can create. Now, this is where you must certainly be wondering, why am I wasting your time explaining this entire solution? So this solution also has a utilization in export, not for everyone, but in certain industries. What is that utilization? So people who are in industries which has this common problem of their designs or styles getting copied, right? So if you're talking to a garment exporter or apparel exporter, they typically have this concern that their designs or styles might get stolen or copied if they're publishing it on their website. Now, how can you publish them on your website but also safeguard them? So that's where you can use this capability. How it will help? You can onboard your international trusted buyers. So you don't want to show your latest collection to every person who's visiting your website, but only to the trusted international buyers whom you know, right? So you will onboard them. They will come, do a secured login, and then they can see your latest collection. But anyone or everyone who's visiting your website, they'll not be able to see, right? So you have your latest collection on the internet, but behind lock and key. So only the people whom you have given the key in form of onboarding them, they'll be able to access. The others will not be able to access. So that is also a very powerful utilization for export business. So these are the four varieties of digital catalogs which you can create. I have so many examples open here, so I'll just quickly take you through a few of the examples. So it is an example of a export B2B store, and obviously it is a hardcore industrial product. So this is where inquiry generation is happening. This is another example of industrial products. This hospital example we have already seen. This is ceramic tiles. This is hair wigs. These are fire protection equipment. We also have matchsticks here. If I haven't missed, yeah, we have matchsticks manufacturer and exporter, and we also have agri product or fruits and vegetable exporters here. This is their digital catalog which we are looking at, right? So you can see from any industry or every industry, you can create your digital catalog. What we are essentially trying to do by creating your digital catalog, you are creating your online presence. You can be discovered online, and you can improve that further. You can improve your presence online by taking various activities related to search and optimization, etc. But you're creating your discoverability so that tomorrow, if someone is looking for you, you can be discovered. And obviously, you can do online marketing, and that's where you can also generate leads, orders, inquiries by your efforts as well. All right. So that was the first part of today's discussion, and that's where I wanted to help you understand about the concept of digital catalog. So I hope the concept of digital catalog is clear to you. Now, this is where now we'll move on to the second part of our discussion. That is, how do you go about creating your digital catalog? So that's where again I'm going to switch my screen and I will take you to a platform called Indian Business Portal, because this is from where your journey of creating digital catalog starts. And this is your culminating point or your end point as well, right? So this is like a race which will start from here and it will also end here. So this is from where you will start your journey of creating your digital catalog. And once that is completed, your products and services will start appearing on Indian Business Portal so that those can be presented to international buyers. Or let me explain about this platform. It is called Indian Business Portal. It is created jointly by FIO, which is Federation of All India Export Organization. It is a premier export promotion body by the government of India, or a apex export promotion body, and Global Linker, which is a business networking and digitization enablement platform. So there are two challenges that Global Linker helps micro and small businesses in uh, overcoming. The first challenge is finding buyers and suppliers, which is business networking. So that is one vertical. And then the other vertical is digitization enablement. So that is where we are helping MSMEs in digitizing their business, because if you look at MSMEs, most of them are not digitize, and even if they are genuinely wanting to digitize themselves, they are significantly challenged. Many of them don't have the required resources, or they don't even have an agency or a resource person who can help them in digitizing their business, right? So they're facing a very uh, unpleasant situation, right? So that's where we are helping them digitize. How do we help them digitize? So whenever a business joins Global Linker, a digital profile gets created. So now they are digitally discoverable. They can be discovered on the internet. Beyond that, they can create their own digital catalog, and using that digital catalog, they can attract uh, international buyers in case of export or domestic buyers. So they have a digital presence where they can also showcase their product or service offering and can receive orders or inquiries depending on their requirement, right? So very quickly, that was a introduction about the FIO and Global Linker. So as you understand, the objective of the platform is to showcase products on the internet and help Indian exporters get discovered by international buyers. Or if I have to explain this in a little more detailed sense, so there are two prompt or two broader objectives that a platform has. The first objective is to digitize the Indian exporters. And this is where, if you look around yourself, in your friend circle, in your community, you'll notice there are many, many exporters who don't have any digital presence, right? Forget about the website. They don't even have an email ID, right? So they're that level digitized. Now we have to digitize all of them, because as a country, that is a significant disadvantage that we face, and our competitors are significantly digitized. So their businesses can be easily discovered while ours can't be, right? So that's where we have to digitize themselves, and that is happening when they're joining the platform. Their profiles are getting created, their digital catalogs are getting created. So digital discoverability is ensured, right? So you can be found online. That is something which is one objective that the platform is trying to achieve. The second objective, and that is more important, is when businesses like yours, when you're digitizing yourself, you're not just digitizing because it is a trending thing to do, or your friends have done that, so you would also want to do, right? So there's no peer pressure here. You're doing it for a very simple reason, and that is to earn through it, grow your business, get leads, orders, inquiries, right? So to earn through it. Now, just creating a digital platform or creating a website does not give you that. Let's be absolutely honest and clear about that. Just creating a website will not give you business. So that is where many businesses, especially micro and small businesses, they were facing this challenge that even if we are digitizing ourselves, we are not going anywhere, right? So we are discoverable, but on which page, and it is not getting us any results. So that's where these kinds of discovery platforms comes into play. So this is where all the exporters are coming together, their products are getting displayed, and then this platform is then promoted by government's effort through the various trade commissions, embassies, etc., so that international buyers, and obviously government has a lot of data of international buyers who routinely sourced from India. So all those international buyers are being incentivized to come to Indian Business Portal and then shop from or have business from or do business with the exporters who are associated with Indian Business Portal, so that all the exporters who are digitizing their businesses, who are putting this effort of creating their digital catalog, they start earning through it, right? So that's how your objective is met. All right, so that was a quick elaboration about Indian Business Portal. All right, so now coming back to the topic of how do you go about creating your digital catalog. I will take very quick 2 minutes of yours, and I'll also try to answer very common question, because I can imagine that will certainly gets asked, or many of you will be having that question in your mind. And when we end the session, you'll certainly ask that. So as we are here on the screen, let me answer those questions. So in almost every session that we are doing around Indian Business Portal or about export, these two questions, or this one question happens to be a almost certain question which gets asked, and that is how will this interaction happen? And the second question, which sometimes gets asked, is that are there any paid packages, etc., that we can subscribe and we can start getting leads, etc. So I'll answer the first question, and that is, how will international buyers do business with us on Indian Business Portal? What is the process that they will be following? Will they connect with us directly? Will they call us, or will they email us? What will happen? Right? So there are broadly two ways in which international buyers can connect with you. First is wherein the international buyer does not want to put in the effort of going through the navigation or searching a suitable exporter. What they do is they post buying requirement, or if VO receives a buying requirement through certain embassies, etc., they are also posted here, right? So what they do is they click on post buying requirement, then they submit the requirement that, hey, this is what we are wanting to buy, and if you happen to be an exporter of those products, you can submit your requisition, right? So that is the first method. Now, how do you participate, or how do you see what are the requirements and how you can submit your quotation? So that's where, if you scroll down, this is where you can see buyers looking for, and if you click on view all, it will take you to another page, and that's where you can see the open inquiries which are there. So this is where you can see there's someone wanting to import uh, aluminum and cathode copper, and there's some fish export requirement also for USA, right? So this is where, as an exporter, you can come here, you can review these requirements, and you can submit your requisition. You can click here, and you can submit your requisition. So this is one method. So this is where what international buyer is doing. They're telling that, hey, this is what we are wanting to import. If you happen to export this, you can send me your requisition. I'll review it, and if I found you interesting, I will connect with you, right? So that is one way in which international buyers will do business with you, right? So that is one way. The second way is where they are going through the navigation, or they are going through the search, and they are finding your business. And then once they have found your business, so for the benefit of time, I've kept few of the profiles open here. I'll just quickly take you through. So this one where we have a profile of an exporter. So just imagine that I'm an international buyer and I happen to come across this profile. So I've found this profile and I'm looking for buying the product. They happen to be bag manufacturer. So I'm wanting to get certain bags from India. I want to import certain bags. And that's where I found this exporter, right? So I've come across their profile. So this is where I can see their entire product catalog. So this is where I can see all the products that they are offering. And I can also see information about this business. So they're based out of Kolkata. They started their business in 2020. And if I want to understand more about this business, I can go to the About Us section. And that's where there are a lot of details. And they have already exported to Canada, United Kingdom, and United States. So they have some amount of export experience as well. And if I want to be more sure, because uh, I'm sitting like thousands of kilometers away and I'm not sure whether it is a genuine business or not. So that's where I can also see the certifications that they have added. So here you can see they have added their ISO certification. So I can review that and I can be more sure, I can satisfy that urge in myself, uh, which keeps telling me that whether it is a genuine business or not, right? So I can be more confident when I'm dealing with this business. So all the information related to that particular business is visible here. But that was not the question I brought you here to answer. The question was, how does a international buyer deals with you on Indian business portal? One was post buying requirement, which we saw. The second is when they have identified you. So, for example, we have identified this business Mercantis India. So, in that case, I can do multiple things to connect with this business. One is I can request meetings. So, similar to how we are connecting here, I can request a meeting. I can schedule an online meeting with the exporter, and then I can explain to them what are my requirements, and I can understand more about that business, and then I can take the discussion forward. Right. So, that is one. Second is that's where I can do this contact seller. So here you can see contact seller. So in that case, you will receive an email as well as this will get added to the contact messages section on the control panel of your digital catalog, right? So you'll get it in form of an email and it will also get added on the seller panel. So that's where you'll have the email ID and the mobile number of and name and country also of the exporter, so you can or the importer, and then you can connect with them, right? So this is where you'll receive a message that this particular international buyers on Indian business portal was wanting to connect with you, and then you can obviously call them back or respond them via an email, etc., right? Depending on how you would want to connect. The third is they can click on visit store, and that will take them to your online store, your digital catalog. So this is the digital catalog of this particular business. Now here, you can see the contact details are displayed here. So they can call you, or they can WhatsApp you, or they can send you an email, or they can also drop you a message. So if they go to your contact us page from there, they can also drop a message. So that was the third method using which they can connect with you. Now, that's where I'll come back to that question uh, that sometimes gets asked, that is there a paid package or some kind of plan available wherein we can buy and we can get the leads? So there's nothing of that sort available. Here, the performance matters, right? So how actively you're responding back to the inquiries, how quickly you're responding, and how good is your product information or business information that you have added, right? So your performance matters here. So the better your performance, the better the product, or the better the information that you have added on your digital catalog, the better will be your visibility and better will be your chances of getting leads or inquiries, right? So that was a very popular question. So I thought of answering as we are here. Now, coming back to the important topic, how do you go about creating your digital catalog? So for that, the obvious first step is to open Indian business portal, and then you have to click on register as Indian exporter. Once you have clicked on that, then this page will open up. Sorry, not this one, this page. Or let me click on that so that I can show it to you. There's the page which will get open up. Now on this page, you will certainly be tempted to click on these buttons, create your catalog, and move to the next step. But before you do that, I would request that you should scroll down on this page and you'll come to a section which is called frequently asked questions. And the first question is, how do I link my business to Indian business portal? I'm not recommending that you should read the steps, but what I'm recommending is there is a text in blue color which says tutorial videos. You should click on that text, which will open a YouTube video. I'll just switch my screen and take you to that video. So this is the video which will get opened on your device. Now, this video is available in both Hindi and English. The default video which will open when you click on the link is in English, but there's a Hindi version also available. So I'll just scroll down. So if you go to the description, that's where you'll find the link of Hindi video as well. If you want to watch this video in Hindi language, you can also review the Hindi version. Right now, coming back to the steps. So I'll just go full screen and I'll help you understand the rest of the steps. So this will not be playing the video. That will not be a very wise use of your time. So this is the first step which we have already seen. On this is the page where I've recommended that you should open the tutorial video. So this is where after opening the tutorial video, you should click on create your catalog, which will take you to this page. This is where you have to input your first name, last name, email ID, create a password, and then click on agree and continue. In the next screen, you have to input your mobile number, then do a OTP verification. After that, you have to input your GST number. Now, many people have curiously asked me that why do you need our GST number? So GST number is required for verifying your business because you're also joining a community, and that is where if your business is not verified, people may shy away from connecting with you, right? So you may end up losing opportunities, and there are many things that you'll not be able to do on the platform if your business is not verified. So that's where I strongly recommend that you should input your GST number in case it is not available right now while you're creating your digital catalog. You can do that at a later stage as well, but I would strongly recommend that you should verify your business by adding your or inputting your GST number. After that, you have to input your business name, click on add company, and then you have to specify the legal entity type. Then you have to input the location. The other details like country, state, city, etc., those will get auto populated. Then click on next, which will bring you to the screen. On the screen, you have to specify which industry do you belong. So, for example, if you're from fashion apparels and accessories, so in that case, you can either type fashion apparels and accessories, or you can select an appropriate industry from the drop down. Once you are done, then it will bring you to this screen. On the screen, you have to specify which business activities are you involved in. So, for example, if you are an exporter and a manufacturer, you can select both the options, and then you click on next, which will bring you to this screen. On the screen, you have to click on this big blue button that you're seeing here. This button I'm referring to, convert now, which will open this overlay. Overlay means pop-up. So on this pop-up, there are three simple questions that you have to answer. What is the main purpose of online store? Approximately how many products you would be listing, and would you like to have a minimum order quantity feature on your digital catalog or not? Then after answering these questions, click on next. On the next screen, you are expected to select a design template. So these are various design templates which are available. You are required to select any one of them. Now, many people curiously ask me this question that what if we have selected a particular template and after a few days we realize that it is not showcasing our products very beautifully, it is not showcasing in them appropriately, it is our products are not appearing nicely on the digital catalog because of the template. Can we change the template? So answer is yes, certainly you can change the template, and you can change it whenever you want. So it will hardly take you 5 seconds, although practically it takes more time because you have to change the banners, etc. also. But technically, if you have to move from one design template to another design template within 5 seconds, you'll be able to do that, right? So don't get worried on that. If I'm choosing something and tomorrow I don't like it myself, we can change that. At any given point of time, you can change that, right? Now, related to this, I'll be like taking 1 minute of yours and explaining about a particular problem that most of us have, but we don't realize that problem, or it is a sort of a subconscious thing, but it is something that all of us face related to this. And what is that problem? The problem is of plenty. Let me explain. So when we are trying to choose a design template, how do we go about choosing a design template? Many of us are not like extremely creative people, right? So that's where just looking at the designs, we can't decide which one is better for us, right? So that's where many, including myself, I'm not an exception to that. Many of us have this challenge that how do we decide a design template for our business? Problem? How should you solve this problem, right? Because this where there's so many options. This looking nice, this looking nice, this looking nice, this looking nice. How do you decide, right? So there's a process that you can follow, process that you have to complete this journey. And once you have completed this journey, add few products or services in case you are a service provider. And after adding those products or services, go to the theme section, apply a theme, switch to another one, review how it is showcasing your products, then switch to another one, see how it is showcasing your products, switch to the other one, switch to other one, right? So you'll have to spend some time, like half an hour, 45 minutes, but that will give you an absolute understanding or a uh, in-person realization of which theme is showcasing your products in the most beautiful way, and that is the theme that you have to choose, right? So it is little time consuming, but like there's no standard fix to it, right? One theme may showcase my products very beautifully but may not showcase your products very beautifully, right? So it varies from theme to theme, products to product. So the most precise activity that you can do is put in some effort, review all the themes, and then you can decide which one is doing the justice to your product or services. All right. So I just sort of providing a solution to the problem which you may face in future. All right. Again, coming back to this overlay, what are you expected to do? You are expected to select a design template of your liking, and in case you don't like it in future, you can change that, which will bring you to this overlay. On this overlay, there are two input fields. One is your business name, which is simple. You have to just ensure that the business name is added there correctly. It is taken from the business name that we have added earlier. In case there's a typo, or if there's a correction that you have to make, you can do that. Now, some businesses operate popular brands. So in case you are a business that is operating a popular brand, in that case, you can create the store in the name of the brand as well. Totally your decision. Then you have store URL. So what is a URL? So URL is something that we type to open a website. For example, if you want to open Google, then what do we type? We type google.com. Or if you have to open Indian Business Portal, we type indianbusinessportal.in. And then we are able to open or access Indian Business Portal, right? So similarly, tomorrow, if someone has to open your website, if they have to access your website, what should they type? That is what we are trying to specify here. Now, this where sometimes people get more confused when I explain this, because that's where they are seeing on the screen a linker.store. So what is this linker.store? So linker.store is our subdomain that we are providing to you absolutely free of cost, and you can use it for as long period as you want. But why is this required? Because your website needs to be accessed. At this point where you are creating the website, if we ask you to invest in domain and SSL, it may be a little overwhelming for you, and many of you may abandon the process. Let's not do that, it's looking too complicated, etc., right? So that's where we want this process to be as convenient as possible, as easy as possible. And if you are someone who hasn't done anything digital, if you ask if we ask you to invest in buying a domain and buying an SSL, obviously you will think like, I haven't seen any returns when they are making us invest, right? So obviously you will have many negative thoughts, and you may not be going ahead very enthusiastically, right? So that is not a very ideal thing to do. So that's where what we have done is we are providing our subdomain to you, which you can use for as long as period as you want, and absolutely free of cost. Now that will help you go through this journey very conveniently. Now just imagine that there's a business which is doing this thing for the very first time. They didn't had any website, they didn't had anything digital earlier, and this is for the very first time they are doing it. So this is where obviously they are a little overwhelmed already, and if we are making them do certain technical things, they may feel that it is too technical and I'll not be able to do that. Second is obviously there are questions around the kind of return that they'll get around the effort also. So that's where create it on linker.store, run it on linker.store domain. And when you're feeling more confident and when you have started seeing the results, that's where you can decide to take it live on your own domain. It is entirely your decision, right? So you can take it live on your domain as well. But I can imagine this where you might be getting a little confused. So what I'll do is I'll switch my screen and I'll take you to a few examples so that you can understand this concept of your own domain and linker.store. So firstly, linker.store. So this is where you can see it is the domain or URL of this particular business is bhaviapexindustries.linker.store, right? So this is where this business is using our subdomain linker.store. Now, if you're someone who wants to take it live on your own domain, so this is where if I take you, so this is where it is snuvas.com or Makharia Enterprises, Makharia Electrical Exports.com or Desire Beverages.in, right? So if you want to take it live on your own domain, you already have a domain, and you want when people are opening that domain, this digital catalog that we are creating should open. That is absolutely possible, and you can take it live on your own domain once the digital catalog is completed. So once it is completed, you should do that. Now, honestly, it is little bit technical. I'm not expecting that all of you will be able to do that. It is not rocket science. If you try to understand that, you'll be able to do that. But I agree that pointing a domain and implementing SSL is little technical. And this is where if any one of you is feeling challenged there, or if you are having any difficulty, or if you're feeling that it is technical and I'll not be able to do that, that's where please do feel free to reach out to our help desk, and one of our executive will help you do that, right? So we will do that for you. We are here to help you out in case any of you feel a issue with pointing your domain or taking this digital catalog live on your domain. If you need any help, please do feel free to reach out to us. All right. So that is around domain. Now, coming back to this particular field where you're seeing the code. So this is where you may have a code already inputted here, or it may just be a blank field. So whatever the case may be, you are expected to type your business name here. So I'm just fast forwarding the video so that I can show you. So this where you can see it is reliable fashion enterprises dot linker dot store. Now, if you are someone who has a very broad business names, in that case it may not fit because the character limit is 25 characters. So in that case, you may have to like edit the business name a little bit. So instead of using the entire word, you may use a short form also. So 25 characters is the limit, and you can use alphabets and numbers. So it is an alphanumeric field. So all the alphabets from A to Z are okay. All the numbers from 0 to 9, they can be used. Other than that, space or no special character can be used. All right. So no special character, only alphabets and numbers, and 25 character is the limit. That is the only thing that you have to keep in mind. Once you have specified the domain, click on create now, which will nearly complete the process. Then the last step that you have to do is to add a product. And the product upload process is explained in this video in great detail. So we'll not be spending your valuable time and understanding that. In the video, I've also explained that if you want to upload your products in bulk, use an Excel file. So from where you can download the format and then you can input the information into the format and upload it. So that option is also available. So if you don't want to upload one product at a time, you can upload in bulk also. Now coming to the product upload part, all the details related to the product upload are explained in great detail in the video. So we'll not be spending your valuable time there. But there are 2 points where certain times or sometimes members ask the question. One is related to GI products, which you are seeing here. So GI product is a geographic indication products, or these are the specialty products of a particular location. So for example, if I take the name of the city Nagpur, so what is Nagpur famous for? If you can share your thoughts in the chat. Nagpur, what is it famous for? Again, Mona has shared the response, and that's absolutely correct. It's famous for oranges. So oranges happen to be a GI. It is happens to be a specialty of Nagpur. Varanasi for its Varanasi or Banarsi sari, or Darjeeling for its tea, or Kashmir for saffron, right? So these are specialty products which are either cultivated or manufactured in a particular location, right? So, and it has a special place on Indian Business Portal as well. So very quickly, I'm switching the screen and taking you to Indian Business Portal. So this is where you can see the first navigation itself is GI products, and this is where geographic indication of India. So these can be in agriculture, food stuff, handicraft, manufacturing, and natural. There are certain locations which are extremely popular for GI products. Varanasi happens to be one of them. We'll quickly go, and here you can see other than Banarsi sari, there are a number of other GI products also in Varanasi, and wooden lacquer toys happens to be one of the popular GI products. Now, I'm not sure how much it is visible, but there's a GI products emblem here. Or let me just open this product very quickly. So this is where you see GI product, and this is a Varanasi wooden lacquer toys. So all these products which are GI products will be carrying this emblem or symbol of GI product. Now, if you're someone who is dealing a GI product, you can select GI, and then you have to select GI category and subcategory. So whether it is agriculture product or a handicraft product, you have to select that, and then you have to select the subcategory. After that, you have to upload the GI certificate. Yes, without uploading GI certificate, you cannot specify your product as a GI product. So uploading GI certificate is must. The other thing which I want to clarify is related to categories. So this is where you can see there's this category and subcategory. Now, what you are doing here is essentially you are telling the system that my product should be displayed in this category and this subcategory. So if I come here, this is where we have fashion apparel and accessories, and this is where just imagine that you happen to be someone who's making or deals in or is exporter of women dresses, women western dresses. So in that case, what you should be doing is you'll be selecting fashion apparels and accessories from the category and then western dresses. So that tells or gives instruction to the system that display my product in the Western dresses section. So if there is a international buyer that is looking for exporters of Western dresses, this is where they will go, right? So that is around the category. So sometimes people get confused. Why are we doing that? Because these categories are not displayed on your digital catalog. They are just for this one purpose, that is to tell the system where your product should be displayed. All right. The rest of the information is explained in the video in great detail. So we will just skip the video and we'll quickly jump on to go to the last steps. And let's keep fast forwarding it. Just give me a, yep. So once you have uploaded one product, and mandatory as part of this process, you have to just upload one product. Only one product is required, and then you can click on this home shaped icon that you have on the top. After that, you have to come here. This is where you'll see there's a big button which says unpublished. Click on that, and you have completed this journey of creating your digital catalog, but the work is not yet over. Let me minimize this. Let's keep this hidden. I will quickly take you and accidentally close this window. Sorry. Let me take you to the account so that I can explain to you the rest of the steps. So what you're going to be seeing on your screen, this is the business networking side. So this is where you can connect and network with business owners from various countries. Now, very quickly, I'll just take you to the control panel or the seller panel. Click on that. So this is the control panel from where you'll be managing and controlling your digital catalog. Now, after completing that journey, when you start seeing congratulatory messages and confetti starts falling on the screen. So that's where after completing that step, you have to immediately go to the product section and then upload the remaining products there, right? Because obviously you'll not be having just one product, you'll be having more than one product. You have to come here and you can upload them. You can upload them one at a time, or you can upload them in bulk, your choice, whichever process you would want to use. Once you have added your products, or once you have uploaded the product, after that you have to go to store settings in the left navigation, and then you have to click on store details, and this is where you'll see there's a section which says about your export. Just click on that, and this is where again you have to specify information. Now this information is displayed where? It is displayed in the about section. So let's see if we still have that profile open. So this about section, all this information is coming from this page. So please fill this information properly, because this information can have a significant impact on how the international buyer is perceiving or how they are understanding your business, right? So if you haven't added the information properly, then there is a strong possibility that they may consider your competitor for their order and not you, right? So please fill this information. Again, it is not a very complicated information. You'll certainly be having that. So are you a FIO member? Your IC code, legal entity type, when did you start your business, what type of business operations you are engaged in, whether you're a manufacturer or merchant, are you an MSME, export turnover for previous 3 years, like countries you have already exported to, countries you would like to export to, number of employees, do you have licenses and certificates? It is a must. You should add whatever licenses and certificates you have, because that will give credibility or trust on the platform, right? Then you have advantages, innovations, is where you have to simply answer the question, why should one do business with you? So you can put your inputs here. And lastly, you have to specify what type of proposals you are interested in. And it is again a multi-select field. Once you are done adding this information, click on save. Now, after that, you can also work on beautifying your business, right? So not your business, your digital catalog. So that's where you can go to my store and go to the theme section. And that's where you can do that theme selection part, and you can set up the navigation, and then you can do the store preview to upload banners, etc. Right? So having a digital catalog is important, but it should be presentable as well. So I'm not expecting that it should be the most beautiful site on the internet, but it should be decent enough. It should be presentable enough, right? So that's where work on creating banners and setting up the navigation also properly. Once you are done doing all this, then the most important steps where a lot of businesses miss out on this step, and that is submitting your request. So you have to also submit a request that, hey, my digital catalog is now ready. Please review it and link it with Indian Business Portal. So for that, you have to go to the home section, which you have here. So click on home, and this page will open up. On this page, you'll see there's an option which says link your store to sell on Indian Business Portal. This is where you'll see there's an option which says send inquiry. Click on that. Now, this overlay has two sections. One is where you have do's and don'ts, and read those do's and don'ts. But more importantly, I'll request you to that you should also review this video. You should watch this video. It will help you understand what mistakes can prevent your business from being showcased on Indian Business Portal and how you can fix those mistakes. So you can understand the mistakes and how you can solve those mistakes in case you have made those mistakes. So please do review the video, and then you can proceed ahead to submit the request. For that, you'll see all these details are pre-populated. You have to just specify whether you're few members, and then you have to agree to the terms, and then you have to click on submit, and that will submit the request. Our operations team typically takes 2 to 3 working days to review a store, and then your store will get listed on Indian Business Portal, and you can be discovered by international buyers who are visiting Indian Business Portal looking for Indian exporters or products from Indian exporters. All right. So this is the entire process is where I'm going to switch off or turn off the screen share, and we are now going to break into the question answer round. All right. So I will pop up the question answer. I will also move the chat to this window. Just give me a quick second. I can see there are a few questions which are added. Just 3 of them I can see in the Q&A. So if there are any other questions, I'll recommend or I'll suggest that you should start adding. The first question which I can see from Mr. Yogesh is about the recording of the session. Yes, certainly the recording is available, and it will be emailed to all of you on the email IDs that you have used to join today's meeting. For joining today's webinar, you have entered your email ID. On that email ID, we'll be sending you the recording. Now, if you want to access this recording right now, also you can go to YouTube, and we have a channel on YouTube, but we have to search for Global Linker. So Global and Linker, just one word, and that's where you'll find this session being live streamed. So it is currently live streamed also. So that's where you can see the recording. All right, so that is the first question I can see. Showcasing our, I think that was the response. Next question is from Mr. Hitendra. So Hitendra ji, like surprisingly, there was a digital catalog. So I'm not sure if you were there at that time. So I was showing examples of certain digital catalog, and like ironically, there was one example of pharma digital catalog that I had opened, but somehow because there were too many examples, I didn't wanted to waste audience time, so I didn't show that example. But certainly, yes, you can create digital catalog. There are many exporters from your business which are already there on Indian Business Portal. They have all created their digital catalogs. Yes, certainly you should also do that. Next question from Mr. Anand. Do you have an office in Pune? No, we don't have an office in Pune, but we have an office in Mumbai. Or if you want to visit office of FIO's office, FIO has offices in, I think, 17 cities, and the information about their offices is visible on their website. Or if you want to get connected with one of the FIO officials, then you can drop an email on ibp@fio.org. I'll also share that email ID with you. I'll just chat that to you. Just give me a quick second. IBP. I am sending that to you. So you can drop an email, and one of the few officials will connect with you. Next question, an important one, although I've answered that discreetly during my explanation about Indian Business Portal, and that is from Mr. Neeraj, and wants to understand how to promote or to how to ensure that the products are visible on the top. So very important thing that you should focus on is the product content that you're adding. So you're from the business and you understand if your international buyer is looking for that particular product, then what are the terms or what are the words that they'll be using. You have to ensure that those words or terms are part of the content that you have added, text title or text description that you have added for your product or service offering. So that is extremely crucial. If you're not certain or if you are not aware what are those terms that the people are using for looking for or searching for your product, then there is a tool called Google Keyword Planner. It is a free tool which is available. You can use that tool and you can do your research and you can understand which are the popular terms which are being used, and you can include those in your product title, description, meta information, so that you are ensuring that your product is discovered. You can in fact cross check also and go to Indian Business Portal and then search for your own product and ensure or check whether your products are appearing or not. So that is one activity, very important one that you have to work on. The second one is your performance. And when it comes to performance, it does not mean like you have to do certain activity, how quickly you're responding. So for example, if I send you an inquiry or international buyer sends you an inquiry, how quickly you are responding to that. If you are someone who is not responding or who is not even bothering to come and check the inquiry that they have received, obviously, why will we give you the next lead or next inquiry? Why will you be put you on the top, right? So that's where your performance is being tracked, right? So it is crucial that you should respond to those inquiries and you should actively open the seller panel and you should actively check if there is any inquiry, etc. Because whenever there is an inquiry, we send an email. In fact, we also have a team that informs the member. So they call up and inform the member that, hey, there's an inquiry that you have received on your online store. Please uh, log in and check, right? So your performance is crucial. Your content and performance is crucial. Next question is from Mr. Rajesh. Wants to understand, I have my own domain. Can I link it with the digital catalog that I'm going to create? Yes, certainly you can do that. And I mentioned that during that point when I was explaining the domain pointing that many members find it a little challenging, although it is not like a very complicated thing, but obviously it is a little bit technical. So that's where if, and this is where I'm addressing to Rajesh as well as to everyone, if any one of you is facing a challenge in pointing your domain or taking your digital catalog live on your domain, then please do feel free to reach out to us. Our team will help you with that, right? Next question is from Mr. Hitend. Any charges? So the platform as a DIY solution is absolutely free of cost. There are few freemium features which are there. For example, there's a auto currency switcher feature is there. So there are certain premium features which are there. So if you're not using those premium features, it is essentially free. Now, related to this questions, many times people have asked that this is a wonderful initiative and we would certainly want to join that, but we don't have time, or if we feel that even if we try to learn everything and then try to do, that will take us a lot of time and lot of learning as well. So is there someone whom we can hire, we can pay, and they can do it for us? Yes, that option is available. And I will share with you a link where you can go and you can submit your requirement. And a person from our onboarding team will connect with you. So just give me a quick second. Let me share that link with you. So if you are wanting to uh, avail a paid service of getting this digital catalog created. So that option is available, and I've shared the link in the chat where you can submit the request. Our onboarding specialist will connect with you. They'll understand your requirement, and based on that, they'll let you know what will be the commercials or how much will be the fee. Next question from Rajesh again. I want to understand, does digital catalog have diversified product category? So when I say diversified product category, I'm guessing that you wanted to understand that can I have products from various categories, various very distinct categories on my digital catalog? Yes, certainly you can. We have like members who have agri products and industrial products on the same digital catalog, right? So you can have products from various categories on the same digital catalog. Now, next question is from Mr. Brahmadat Sharma. So, Brahmadatji, a domain can only work with one website, right? So, how you can do that is you can create your digital catalog, and then if you take it live on your own domain, your old website will cease to exist, but your new digital catalog will be live, right? So you can migrate to the new digital catalog, and you can continue to use your existing domain. Next question from anonymous attendee. Is it free for lifetime? Yes. The DIY solution, do it yourself solution, the basic solution will always remain free. Next question again from Mr. Hitendra. Is there any way to connect with international buyers? And this where because of paucity of time, I didn't cover that in my discussion, but because it is being asked, and I can imagine that that will also be there. So in your minds, so I'll again start sharing my screen. Just give me a quick second, and I will not take a lot of your time. I'll just very quickly walk you through because there's something which I believe is important. So now the question is like, how do I connect with international buyers? So this is where I've explained this ecosystem to you. So this is your business, which you're seeing here. This is your business, and you're creating your digital catalog. Now that digital catalog then gets linked with Indian Business Portal. We have to understand this process. Now, how does it help you in growing your business, or how does it give business to you? So that's where through few efforts, international buyers are being approached, and then those international buyers will come to Indian Business Portal, and either they'll post their buying requirements or they will connect with you directly. So that is one thing which, or one action which will happen on Indian Business Portal. Now, because you have a website, you have a digital catalog, you can also do marketing on your own, right? So you can run your own email campaigns, or can run your own ads or digital campaigns, and then you can approach international buyers and then bring them to your website, and that's where you can do business with them on your website. Now, there's a third element also, and that is the business community, which I very briefly showed to you. So that's where you have sorry, my throat is troubling me today. So you have business community, so which I very briefly showed to you. So that's where you have members from 150 countries. You can connect with them. So that's where you can do business networking with them, and you can find international buyers. So that's how you can grow your business, or you can generate business through this entire ecosystem. All right. So I hope that question is also answered. So let me turn off the screen share, and once again, we'll go back to the questions. Next question is again from Rajesh. RCMC of FIO mandatory for? No, RCMC of FIO is not mandatory. IEC is mandatory. So you need to have an IC code. Other than that, RCMC is not mandatory. But if you have a RCMC of FIO, those businesses have a special emblem, also a FIO, registered FIO member, that appears on Indian Business Portal. So obviously there is a visibility advantage that you'll get. You'll have a special emblem if you're a FIO, registered FIO member. Other than that, nothing. Uh, Next question from Mr. Hirsch. Export license compulsory? Yes, it is compulsory. How do I get in touch with business community? So when you'll be creating this entire digital catalog, so that's where you will also, or your business community account will also get created, and through your business community, you can use the search feature, or you can use the ad connection feature, and you can connect with international buyers or businesses from various countries. Because we have overshot our time by almost 15 minutes, so that's where uh, I'll not be able to show you that, but and that is a very easy and straightforward. All right, so this is where I am going to now share my contact details very quickly with you. So if any one of you is facing any challenge or if you're facing any difficulty, please do feel free to reach out to me. I'm sharing my email ID with you. So please drop me an email and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Or if you want to understand anything or if there's anything which is not very clear to you, drop me an email and I will either personally connect with you, or I'll have someone from my team reach out to you and address your concern query. All right. So I've just added my contact details in the chat, so you can copy that or you can note down, or you can also drop me a message on Global Linker. I've added my profile link also, so you can connect me there, or you can just search for me, and you'll be able to find that. All right. Now I will also share with you the links of the tutorial videos. So in case when you're going through this journey, you can review these videos as well. So there are two videos that I've added in the chat. So you can review those links. So one is in Hindi, another is English. So whichever language you would want to review, you can also do that. All right. So this is where we will conclude this session for today. I'm just looking at the last question. Rajesh, for this question, and this is related to FIO, what kind of export promotion activities they are involved in. So that's where I'm giving you an email ID. It is ibp@fio.org. Uh, Drop an email on this email ID. I'm also chatting it to everyone in the chat. So if you want to understand anything related to FIO, that's where you should send an email, and if FIO officials will connect with you. So if you want to understand what kind of export promotion help, assistance they can provide. So that's where I'm not an expert onto that. A FIO official will be a better person to answer that question. So drop an email and one of the FIO official will connect with you and they will answer your question related to that. All right. So this is where I think we should conclude our session. Thank you everyone for taking our time and participating in the session. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Bye bye from our